China's rise as a global power is increasingly evident, marked by its economic prowess and assertive foreign policy. This transformation is not just about economic growth, but also about expanding its influence across the globe. The new book by Darrell and George Fosty, Coiled Dragon: From Soccer to AI, China's Upcoming War with America, explores China's global economic and military strategy. One aspect of this strategy is what some call stadium diplomacy, where China builds or renovates sports facilities in other countries. This is a modern twist on an age-old practice of using cultural and social investments to build alliances and foster goodwill.
China is investing heavily in building or renovating sports facilities in developing nations, particularly in Africa. These projects are often part of larger infrastructure initiatives that include roads, bridges, and schools. These gleaming stadiums serve as tangible symbols of China's generosity and commitment to fostering positive relationships. They are often accompanied by grand opening ceremonies that highlight the partnership between China and the host country.
These projects are not merely about sports, they are part of a broader strategy to create lasting bonds and mutual benefits. They are strategic investments designed to win friends and influence. By engaging in these high-profile projects, China aims to position itself as a benevolent global leader. By providing much-needed infrastructure, China aims to cultivate goodwill among local populations. These facilities often become community hubs, enhancing the quality of life for local residents.
This goodwill can translate into political support, favorable trade deals, and long-term partnerships that benefit both sides. Additionally, it provides China with access to vital resources, which are crucial for sustaining its economic growth and development. China understands the power of symbolism and the importance of soft power in international relations. These stadiums stand as monuments to its growing influence on the world stage, showcasing not just its economic might, but also its cultural and diplomatic reach.
Central to China's global ambitions is the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, a massive infrastructure development project spanning continents. Launched in 2013 by President Xi Jinping, the BRI seeks to revive the ancient Silk Road trade routes, but on a much grander scale. This modern-day Silk Road aims to connect China to markets in Asia, Africa, Europe, and beyond through a network of roads, railways, ports, and pipelines. The initiative encompasses over 60 countries, covering more than 65% of the world's population and a third of global GDP.
The scale of the BRI is unprecedented, with trillions of dollars in investments planned across dozens of countries. These investments are intended to build critical infrastructure, such as highways, railways, and ports, which are expected to boost trade and economic growth. China presents the BRI as a win-win proposition, promising economic growth and development for all participants. The initiative is marketed as a way to foster international cooperation and mutual benefit, with the potential to transform the economic landscape of participating countries.
Indeed, the initiative has the potential to unlock new trade routes, create jobs, and stimulate economic development. By improving infrastructure, the BRI could facilitate smoother and more efficient trade, reducing costs and increasing market access for many countries, and lift millions out of poverty. The construction of new roads, railways, and ports can provide employment opportunities and improve living standards in some of the world's poorest regions. However, concerns abound about transparency, debt sustainability, and the potential for these projects to primarily benefit Chinese companies and interests. Critics argue that the BRI could lead to debt dependency, where countries are unable to repay loans and become economically beholden to China. There are also worries about the environmental impact and the social consequences of such large-scale projects. One of the most cited examples of China's alleged debt trap diplomacy is the case of Sri Lanka and the Hambantota port. In 2017, Sri Lanka, unable to repay its debts to China, was forced to lease the strategically important port to a Chinese state-owned company for 99 years.
This move raised alarm bells about China's intentions and the risks associated with BRI projects. The Hambantota port, located near vital shipping lanes in the Indian Ocean, holds significant strategic value.
Its lease to China has fueled concerns about its potential use for military purposes, despite China's assurances to the contrary. Africa has become a focal point for China's global engagement, with the continent emerging as a key player in the global economy. Rich in natural resources such as minerals, oil and gas, Africa is eager for investment to fuel its development and growth. China has poured billions of dollars into infrastructure projects across Africa, aiming to build a network of roads, railways and other critical infrastructure. From modern ports that facilitate trade to power plants that provide much-needed electricity, these projects are transforming the continent.
This investment has brought tangible benefits, such as improved transportation networks and increased access to energy. These developments are improving connectivity, boosting economic activity, and creating new opportunities for local businesses and communities. However, China's growing influence in Africa has also raised concerns about neo-colonialism and the potential for exploitation, as some fear that the benefits may not be evenly distributed.
Critics argue that China is primarily interested in securing access to Africa's vast resources, often prioritizing its own economic interests over the well-being of local populations. This has led to concerns about environmental degradation and the displacement of communities as industrial activities ramp up to meet global demand. Furthermore, China's lack of transparency and its close ties to authoritarian regimes raise questions about its commitment to good governance and human rights, sparking debates about the long-term impact of its presence in Africa. Section 5, the Digital Silk Road: Data, Technology and the Future of Control. Beyond physical infrastructure, China is also actively shaping the digital landscape through its Digital Silk Road initiative.
This ambitious project aims to export Chinese technology and standards, particularly in areas like telecommunications, e-commerce, and artificial intelligence.
China's tech giants are at the forefront of this digital push, building data centers, laying fiber optic cables, and partnering with local companies.
This expansion raises concerns about data security, privacy, and the potential for China to use its technological prowess for surveillance and censorship.
Section 6, the shadow of the one-child policy, a demographic time bomb. China's remarkable economic rise has been accompanied by profound social and demographic challenges.
The now-defunct one-child policy, implemented in 1979 to curb population growth, has had lasting consequences.
The policy, while credited with slowing population growth, has also led to a shrinking workforce, a gender imbalance favoring males, and a rapidly aging population.
These demographic shifts present significant challenges for China's future economic growth and social stability. The shrinking workforce could lead to labor shortages and slower economic growth.
Section 7. A dragon awakens military modernization and global ambitions. As China's economic and political clout has grown, so too has its military might.
China has embarked on a massive military modernization program, investing heavily in advanced weaponry, cutting-edge technology, and expanding its military presence beyond its borders.
This military buildup has raised concerns among its neighbors and the United States, fueling anxieties about China's ultimate intentions.
China's military modernization is driven by a desire to secure its interests in its immediate neighborhood, particularly in the South China Sea, and to project power further afield.
China's growing military capabilities are altering the balance of power in Asia and beyond, with potential implications for global security and stability. The South China Sea, a vital waterway for global trade and rich in natural resources, has become a flashpoint for tensions between China and its neighbors.
China claims almost the entirety of the South China Sea, overlapping with the claims of several Southeast Asian nations. These overlapping claims, coupled with China's assertive actions in the region, have raised concerns about the potential for conflict.
China has been rapidly building artificial islands and militarizing existing features in the South China Sea, deploying advanced weaponry and increasing its naval presence. The Taiwan issue remains one of the most sensitive and potentially explosive flashpoints in the US-China relationship.
China views Taiwan as a breakaway province that must be reunified with the mainland, by force if necessary. The United States, while officially adhering to the One China policy, has committed to providing Taiwan with the means to defend itself.
Tensions across the Taiwan Strait have escalated in recent years, with China increasing military activities near Taiwan and engaging in aggressive rhetoric. China's rise as a global power is reshaping the international order, challenging the existing balance of power and ushering in an era of uncertainty.
The relationship between China and the United States, the world's two most powerful nations, will be crucial in determining the future trajectory of global affairs. There are calls for greater cooperation between China and the United States on pressing global challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and nuclear proliferation.
However, strategic competition between the two countries is likely to intensify, particularly in areas such as technology, trade, and ideology. Managing this competition peacefully and constructively will be paramount to avoiding a new Cold War. China's rise as a global power presents both challenges and opportunities for the world. Understanding China's ambitions, strategies, and internal dynamics is crucial for navigating this complex and evolving landscape.
Engagement with China is essential, but it must be based on a clear-eyed assessment of its intentions and a willingness to defend democratic values and international norms. The world is entering a new era, one defined by shifting power dynamics and increasing uncertainty.
China's rise is a defining feature of this new era, and how it manages its growing power and influence will have profound consequences for the future of humanity.